Let's do a summer Dolly dress up, and while I do that, I'll fill you in on how my YouTube stats are doing on this channel since I stopped posting a doll every day. So back in June 15th, on June 15th, 2026, I posted a video where I talked about my experience posting a daily video because I was going through and curating my doll collection. And I thought it might be a good way for me to go through my collection and also kind of maybe bump up my channel a little bit, but mainly I did it because of going through the collection. So then that meant I posted a video. Sometimes they were shorts, but a lot of them were what they call long form videos, meaning they were horizontal instead of vertical and more than 3 minutes long. I did that every single day starting January 1st all the way through June 14th. Oh my goodness, she must be so hot in this. I'll put a link below to that specific video that I posted on June 15th, and this is 2026, by the way, if you see this way in the future. And in that, I talked, like I said, I talked about specifically what my stats were like. So I'll put that link down there in the description for you if you want to go back and look at it or refresh your memory if you saw it. And I have this bag of dollies here that need some summer outfits. So I thought I would do that and tell you a little bit about how things are since I sort of changed my strategy. Just so you know, when I was posting every single day, it didn't like kill my channel or anything like that. I mean, it didn't have a huge negative effect on my channel, but it didn't have a huge positive effect. In fact, I had a lot of views, but actually my watch hours went down a bit. So, which kind of surprised me. And like I said in that video, I was also kind of getting burnt out and coming to the realization that I really wanted to do videos that were more quality over quantity. And as I was doing various videos showing each doll, in fact, I have a playlist if you want to go back and look. It's 2026 A Doll a Day is the playlist name, and I actually show every single doll from my collection in that list. So it was just a lot. It took a lot of time, and as I was doing it, I was noticing that it really wasn't I mean, I had some good videos, don't get me wrong. I actually had some really good videos when I was doing it, but it was a struggle to come up with content in that short a time every single day. And I was posting ahead of time, like I always do stuff ahead of time. I don't actually work on my channel every single day. That would be ridiculous. So basically, I realized that, you know, I had achieved my goal. I went through every single doll and evaluated every single doll and decided which doll I wanted to keep and which doll I didn't want to keep. These are keepers, obviously. They made the cut, right? And I did rehome 31 dolls. I am probably, at this point, going to also rehome a couple more. But I'm always doing that. I'm always buying and selling dolls. It's just, to me, that's part of how I approach the hobby. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but anyway, I did rehome about 31 dolls and kind of realized what dolls I wanted to sort of stick with and focus on more versus dolls that really didn't fit my aesthetics, my approach to collecting anymore. So I let those go, or I downsized some of them. And again, I talk about that, you know, on those videos throughout that time period from January 1st, 2026 up through June 14th, 2026. But I ended up deciding to kind of switch gears a little bit. And what I did, instead of posting, you know, a doll a day, because I had done all the dolls every single day, I was done. I decided to do one long form video at least once. Sometimes I do a couple, but basically focus on one long form video once a week, and that way I could really do a lot of deep diving. I could add more value. I could add like DIY projects with it, that kind of stuff instead of just saying, you know, here's my doll, she's really cute, and then tell you all about the doll. I would do something with the doll, right? So, and I think I've been doing that. I've had some really pretty decent videos I think have come out this past, you know, since June 14th. or June 15th, I guess, June 14th, around mid-June. So I've been really happy with that. But so I did that, and then just to keep the algorithm kind of aware of my existence, and also I wanted to practice my my creating of shorts, because the shorts videos I'm not that great at, and so it's something I need to work on. So I do those 5 times a week. One long video I publish on Mondays. Sometimes like I said, if I'm doing a collab or something like that, like I had a collaboration come out recently with Elowin Wild Dolls and March Payne, Dolly Midlife Crisis, The Dolls, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and Starts and Stitches, and I believe that does happen to land on a Friday. So that week I did a Monday and a Friday video. But then otherwise, throughout the week, I just do shorts, and then I don't do any video posting on the weekends. But at this point, there's obviously going to be some Dolly nudity, and I'm going to change these into some summer outfits. I have quite a few bathing suits, so I'm kind of going to go in that direction. And at the end of the video, everybody will be dressed and up on a shelf for you to see. So I will also, like I said, talk about my channel a little bit and my direction, and also closer to the end of the video, I will share some specific numbers with you that you might find interesting or you might not. And I have a little chart that I put together. So let me say that I am going to talk a little bit about, the algorithm, the YouTube algorithm, and using the AI assistant that they have in what they call the YouTube Studio. And that's where, if you're a YouTube creator, that's where you upload your video. You look at your statistics in there. They call it the analytics, that kind of thing. But let me also say, I know that I have to take anything that the algorithm, I know that I have to take anything that the AI suggests with a big grain of salt, because it can be totally wrong. In fact, sometimes it'll suggest things that make absolutely no sense. Other times it'll suggest things like, it'll change its mind. It'll say something like, oh, you should do a split screen with your thumbnail. And then I do it and then run the video, and then I will run an analysis on how it did, and it'll say, Hannah, it didn't do that great. Maybe you shouldn't use that split screen in your thumbnail. It's like, okay, you told me. So I am learning that really I find the AI useful when I want to crunch some numbers. And that's something I did. I actually, a couple times, I have said things like, compare this date to this date, More recently, again, like I said, I'll show you some specifics here closer to the end of the video. But I asked it to compare my analytics from June 15th, 2026 to August 4th, 2026. And it was very interesting. So also, I want to mention about the algorithm, which is, how YouTube works, how it decides to suggest your videos and that kind of thing. I pay attention to the algorithm, but I'm not a slave to it. I mean, I'm making content because I enjoy it. Oh my gosh, can I get this off of you, Missy? I enjoy the hobby. I like sharing my passion, and that's what I'm doing here. So I don't do a video and like, oh, it didn't do well, I'm never going to do a video about that doll again. I don't do that. For example, I have a small collection, about 5 dolls, I guess, of A Girl for All Time dolls, and they are super not popular. Now, I don't do a ton of stuff with them, but occasionally I'll redress them, and I've shown them on the channel quite a bit. In fact, I think I might have a playlist with them. So I don't go, oh, well, I'm never going to do a video about those dolls because nobody, the algorithm won't push it out. I don't think like that. So if I think something's interesting, I will do it. Like I said, I pay attention to it, but I'm not a slave to it. Oh, look at these cute little undies. I forgot about these. Look how cute those are. Little pineapples. Oh, these gals had no undies, but you're all going to have bathing suits on, so I guess I'll take your panties off because I'm going to put bathing suits, I think, on most of these guys. So just putting that out there. I know some people are like, oh, you shouldn't listen to AI. Well, sometimes they have good information, and especially, like I said, if the numbers are in there, So I could myself do all that comparison stuff, but it's way easier just to say, could you compare this date to this date? Instead of me going in there and digging around for it myself. So that's a lot of times how I use it. Or I will create a thumbnail for my channel or for my video, and it's like, it's almost right, but I need help with a little bit. I'll say, could you do XYZ to this thumbnail? And, you know, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So sometimes it'll do my XYZ like I want it to, and sometimes it's kind of cray-cray and I can't use it. But so that's something I think is useful for you guys to know. All right, she also has cute panties on, but I'm gonna take them off. Her little head just spins around. Oh, so all of these dolls, let's see, all of these are, she's a custom. All of them are, except for this gal, she's an AliExpress doll, an old AliExpress doll that still has the, they used to come with this stuff on the back of their heads, little print. I don't know if you can see that. It says 2006 Hasbro Inc. And they had these types of bodies. If you wanted the jointed bodies, you had to pay extra for them. So she's an old AliExpress. The rest of them, like I said, except for her, she's custom. But all the rest of them are actual stock dolls. Just FYI. And I have to say, so I've been spending, like I said, more time doing one video a week, one long form video a week, and doing some deep, what they call deep dive. So things, I get a little bit more, you know, involved. I try to add more to it. I get more into it, I have to say. And it has been, for me, I would say mentally, very good. I was getting burnt out before. I felt like my content was just kind of ho-hum. And I feel like I've produced some pretty decent videos. I'm very proud of some of the content I've created. And I really enjoyed the process a lot. So I've also been doing more collabs because that way I'm limiting them still. There's a lot of really wonderful YouTube creators like Marna on Dolls Rescue. She runs all kinds of amazing collabs, but there's just so many, I just can't do them all. And especially now when I'm limiting myself to, you know, one major video a week. That's, yeah. So I am doing collabs, but I'm doing them sparingly and with smaller groups. Usually no more than 4 people, 4 other creators. That's kind of my max. I have 7 dolls. Let me see how many bathing suits I have. I might have 7 bathing suits. Maybe everybody might get a bathing suit. But like I said, I've been spending more time on just the one video. These are so cute. I'm going to put these on the dollies today. I got these from Kim over at the Dolls, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Look at those. Perfect timing for me to get these girls. I mean, it's August. They should have been in some summer stuff a long time ago. But I feel like I have, like I said, I feel really good about some of the videos that I've produced. For example, there was Fruity Kaleidoscope. I got her. She's one of the newer dolls, Blythe dolls that I got. And I did a restyle with her for the Harajuku style. She comes like that, but then I did a thing where I found outfits or clothing I had and recreated an outfit for her. And I really enjoyed that. I got into that. Another one that I really liked, that I feel pretty proud of, is one called the Poppy Parker, A Mistake, where I showed my new Poppy Parker doll, which I'm not falling way down into that Integrity Toy hole, but I'm skimming it, guys, skimming it. So I did something about the Poppy Parker doll that I got. She had something wrong with her eye, and then I tried on different clothes. I've also did another video where she was, I was trying on different shoes. So I feel kind of good about the videos, you know, and it was, like I said, the process, I really enjoyed it. I get into it, you know, I like the whole thing. I like coming up with the idea, executing it, any type of DIY stuff. I like adding that. I even like the editing to a certain extent, even though my laptop died on me not that long ago, so that was kind of a not good situation. And it's actually kind of brought me back a little bit to doing more crafting and sewing, because I don't want to just open up a new doll, that's it. Or I don't want to just, here's some clothes I got, that's it. It's like I've made some doll earrings, I've sewn a dress, you know, that kind of thing. I feel like, again, I've added a layer or two to what I've been doing. And so that has been something I've really enjoyed doing that. I also joined a small group of YouTubers that we are working together to sort of working on strategy and YouTube strategy. We have fairly small channels. I mean, I did finally get up to 5,000. I'm a little over 5,000. As I film this, I'm up to 5,072. So that's a huge deal for me. But I mean, I have been on YouTube for a ridiculous amount of time. So I think sometimes I've seen some people claim that actually 5,000 is really the benchmark for a medium-sized channel, but I don't know what I think about that. All right, so let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3. Pink is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8. Oh, I have plenty then. Okay. This is kind of, yeah, I mean, this is a swimsuit, so to speak, but maybe I'll put that on Malibu and then put these on these gals here. Super cute. How exciting. Okay. In fact, this one goes with this chick. Maybe I'll put it on her. She's rarely worn it. This is, You Are Cherry Beach Sunset. So, yeah, the strategy group's been helpful. You know, bouncing ideas off of each other. Again, it's a very small group. We're going to keep it small just because it just, you know, the administrative type of thing. It's difficult to keep track of everybody and to help everybody when you have a huge group. So, but I've really enjoyed it. If you're interested in doing that kind of thing, if you're a YouTube creator, I would say reach out to some people that you know that might be interested in doing it with you. That's always something helpful. So, like I said, I'm paying attention to the algorithm, but I'm definitely not a slave to it. I mean, I'm doing content that I like to do. I enjoy crafting for my dolls and, you know, collecting them and the whole thing. I like it all. And I'm doing it for me, but then with an eye to, you know, my audience. But I'm not going to collect dolls that I don't really like or make items that I'm not interested in. I'm not going to just do what I think the algorithm wants me to do. And I mean, that's just because, first of all, I'm just not, because I don't want to. But also, the algorithm changes on a whim, on a dime, whatever. It's very inconsistent, and nobody, you know, it's a big old secret why some YouTubers can post, you know, one video and go viral, and then they have this massive channel in a couple of weeks, and other people are hammering at it for forever and have very little bit of success or almost no success. Who knows? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So it's just not worth stressing over. You have to do this for yourself. What do you like about it? Can I just slip this on? What do you think, guys? It seems kind of tight, but I don't know if I can undo that knot. Can I undo that knot? Oh. Huh. Okay, this might go. I'll try this later. Get the other gals. But look how cute she looks in this. This is her original bikini that she came with. One of her stock pieces. So along with the little group of YouTubers that I follow, I also, of course, watch various people who know stuff about YouTube and their videos. And one video I watched the other day, it was from the VidQ people. They post some interesting stuff on there. He talked about why some videos will do, initially they'll do really well, and then all of a sudden there seems to be like this drop off, and you don't know why. I mean, you know, you'll be, you know, it seems like, wow, everybody likes it. Oh, it's doing great. And then 24 hours later, just frozen. It's almost like it doesn't exist anymore. And that's because he said there's two different audiences. You have warm audiences and cold audiences. And initially, YouTube will send out your video to the warm audience, the people who know you. This is a little big on her, but that's super cute. And then after a while, it will eventually send it out to people who don't know you, and that's your cold audience. And if you have what he calls a shallow pool of your audience, which meaning fewer people, it can be really difficult because you just don't have as many people. I mean, something like doll collecting is going to have a shallow pool. I mean, it just is. And especially when you get down to like not only doll collecting, but doll collecting a doll that maybe isn't super popular, or, you know, is very limited, you know. For example, my Tonner dolls, I love those dolls. They're some of my favorite dolls. Oh, this doesn't fit her. Huh. Okay, she has a small chest. I thought that would fit you. All right. But I really love my Robert Tonner dolls, but I feel like that's a shallow pool because it's, you know, they're limited quantity. There's not a ton of them made. And that's, I mean, a small group of collectors, you know. I mean, he has a very strong following. People who, people who love him, love him. I mean, his work is amazing. But that's not going to have as big as a pool as collectors of Barbie, for example. So I have a shallow pool, so I just have to keep that in mind. And like I said, do what I like without really freaking out too much. But at the same time, kind of paying attention. Like, I've been working on my thumbnails. You may have noticed that. If you look at my channel, maybe you could see there's a difference or something. So things like that, because those are important, because that's how people see you. And especially if you're posting something and they're scrolling through their phone, they need to see that. And if they can't see your, you know, if your thumbnail doesn't catch them, then, you know, they don't get to see the rest of your work. So those are things I think are important, and I am trying to pay attention to that. Titles, description, you know, little things like that I think are worth my time. This looks so cute on her, you guys. What do you think of this? I mean, is it like too clashy with the hair? Is it not enough contrast? I don't know. All right, so I'm going to put the chart I told you about up here while I try to pick up the pace and get these dolls dressed. So you can see this is the channel performance overview. It's a chart I downloaded from my analytics area on my YouTube channel. And I asked AI to compare my performance, my analytics from June 15th, 2026 to August 8th, 2020. No, yeah, August 4th, 2026. And this is what it came up with. It shows that my views, a little bit of everything was up if you look at the chart. So my views were up by 18.2%. Now, views are always nice, but views don't tell the whole story. That's just, you know, somebody clicking on your video, but that doesn't necessarily mean they watched all of your videos. So I'm trying to figure out what is the front. Okay, that's the back. So they were up, so that's good. But that can be misleading. You can see somebody might have like tons of views, but then, you know, they don't necessarily have, they didn't necessarily stick around. So that's where the next thing comes in is watch time. If you ever want to get monetized, you have to get watch time. You have to have, well, last time I checked, it was something like 4,000 hours. I think there's some variations on that now, but anyway, oh, I hope this is going to fit. This is kind of probably too big. What is happening? So my watch time went up 28%. If you remember, it had dipped down by 20% before. So when I was posting every single day, I got a 20% dip. Now I'm not posting every single day. And I think I might have misspoken earlier. I think I said that I was posting 5 shorts a week, but I'm actually posting 4. like I said, it can vary. Sometimes I'll think, oh, this is kind of cool. I want to share this type of thing. But, and the same with the videos. What is happening here? So, oh, so yeah, that went up. So that's really nice. Subscribers also went up. That was another thing that I was really kind of surprised about. I thought I would have an increase in subscribers. All right, girl. I don't know if I'm even going to use this. I thought I would have an increase in subscribers because posting every day, and I was posting quite a few shorts back then too. So that I thought would bring in my subscribers. But yeah, my subscribers went up 52.9%. And then now it's showing revenue. This is a little misleading. Oh, this is way too big. Yikers. Huh. All right, we're having some problems here, guys. So that's a little misleading, that estimate revenue, because that is not how much I actually made for that. It says it went up 34.9%, so that's nice. But that revenue there that they're showing, that actually refers to more than that time period, from that June 15th through August 8th. That $80, that covers way more time period than that. Because basically what happens is YouTube, once you're monetized, which I am, you get paid, once you get at least $100, they will kick in and you're going to get some money. You're going to get that $100. But they only pay you at certain times of the month. I don't get paid till like the end of the month. So even if I had $100, it's not like boom, bam, immediately I get it. And then you accrue that money. So like right now it says $80. Well, they're not going to pay me that till it reaches 100. That could take a while. So I wish I made $80 in that amount of time. But anyway, still it went up 34%. So that's good. And then impressions went up quite a bit. And impressions are... Okay, I found this. It's a little worse for wear, but we're going to go with this. I think it should fit her. So impressions are any time, it's counted as, and I looked this up to make sure I have the exact, definition. An impression on YouTube is counted each time your video thumbnail is shown to a viewer on the platform. So that means shown to a viewer as in YouTube is like, yo, you should watch this. So that means your home page, that bar on the right-hand side of the screen when you're watching a video, that is when YouTube is suggesting a video to viewers. And so, oh, how cute that is. This is kind of pretty old, but oh, it looks adorable on her. So yeah, so that's good. It's the higher the better. But that's the thing, is if YouTube doesn't suggest people's videos, it's just about impossible to get seen, and it's very tricky, and there's no way to know how to really make them do that. So that's good. I mean, again, if you look back at the chart, which should still be up here at this point in time, that did go up for me. It didn't go up a huge amount. 0.9% is not huge, but it's up. So I'll take it, right? And then the CTR, that is gone up as well. And that is basically when people, I can't remember what that stands for. It's a click rate, but it means when people click on your thumbnail. So my click rate increased, and it's still not a great click rate. Really, a good click rate is something like about 5%. You can see I'm way far from that. But it did increase a little bit. So, ooh, look how pretty this looks on her with those blue eye chips. Wow. Oh, it should go this way. So everything went up. Everything went up over just a small period of time. And I can't say for sure if it's because of what I did or not. I really, everything's really weird with YouTube's strategy. I don't really understand why some things I do will do really well and others won't. I do a little bit, like I said, at the whole idea of the warm audience and cold audience and shallow pool. And okay, that makes sense to me, but that only goes so far. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today, as well as these really cute dolls that I'm almost done dressing. And oh girl, I am going to, yeah, I got everybody's in a bathing suit now, right? Yes, everybody's got a bathing suit on. So I'm going to put them on my shelf, and I'm also going to finish styling them. Let me pull this up. I'm going to finish styling them. Come on, I think it should fit you. Oh, I got to mess with this. So, oh, yeah, come on. I know this works. I've used it before. All right, I've got to mess with her top to cover her tatas. I know I've had them wear this before. I don't know what's the problem here. Maybe it's too tight. I'm going to fix their hair. I'm going to put some of these really cute clips I got from Kim at the Dolls, the Witch in the Wardrobe. Somebody also might wear this little necklace. And I have a couple of little things. I might still see if I can get somebody in this. This is a Barbie bathing suit, so I know it's kind of big, but I might be able to finagle it. And I'll get them on the shelf, and I'll show you everybody on the shelf. Quick introduction before I put everybody up on the shelf and finish getting everybody dressed and styled and add some props. We've got Pineapple Princess, Dolly Days Weekend, Cherry Beach Sunset, Hello Again Arden, Surrey Sustainable. This customized I call Lilu, and this chick I actually call her Lilu too, because they kind of remind me, they give me the vibes of that character from The Fifth Element, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's beach time, baby. And they are so darn cute. I hope you guys enjoyed my little chitty chat while we played with some dolls together. Got them ready for the beach. Yeah, they're ready to go. Oh, I did manage to get this on somebody. And of course, I added a few props like some sunglasses and tote bags. They're all wearing their adorable little summertime hair clips. I don't know if you saw for sure, but she has little sea animals on the clips. So this was just perfect. Perfect for this little display. All right, guys, let me know your thoughts about anything and everything down below. Have a wonderful Dolly day. I always appreciate you. Bye-bye.